This travel company had a problem. Business was booming after a hugely successful TikTok campaign, and holiday bookings had trebled. Customers loved the company's flexible payment plan, allowing them to pay towards their holiday whenever they wanted and in whatever amount suited them. But their Excel system was beginning to crack under the pressure. Every payment had to be matched to the correct customer and totaled to calculate the outstanding balance. The phones rang constantly, support tickets were piling up, customers were waiting for answers, and mistakes were beginning to happen. The business had grown, but their spreadsheets hadn't.
Hi, it's Lena. How can I help you?
Hello, could you tell me how much I've paid towards my holiday?
Certainly. Just bear with me while I check. Sorry for taking so long and thank you for waiting. You've paid $1,460 so far and you still have $340 outstanding.
Great. Have you received my insurance form as well?
Business continued to grow, but so did the problems. Staff spent hours searching spreadsheets instead of helping customers. Support tickets were rising. The manager knew something had to change.
Lana, you're one of our strongest problem solvers. I'd like you to spend the next couple of days on this Excel course and then come back with a solution to help us work smarter.
Over the next few days, Lana learned about essential Excel concepts like relative references, using cell references and linking. She learned how to organize data properly using lists, tables, and name ranges. She mastered the workhorse functions and tools like XLOOKUP, SUMIFS, COUNTIFS, if, AI Excel prompts, pivot tables, and Power Query. Equally important, she learned how they can combine together to create practical, efficient, workable solutions.
Before I explain the new spreadsheets in detail, I'd like to explain the basic structure behind them. The system is built on two key foundations. First, Excel tables, which automatically expand as new records are added. Second, a small group of powerful Excel functions. SUMIFS, XLOOKUP, COUNTIFS, and if, which process the data automatically. This means staff simply enter or update records. Everything else happens automatically. Totals are recalculated, client information is updated, outstanding balances are refreshed, and progress through each stage of the process is tracked in real time. The result is a single, reliable source of information that is always up to date. It reduces manual work, cuts down on errors, and gives us instant access to the information we need. The first decision was to store all of our information in Excel tables rather than ordinary list. We have one table containing our client information and another containing every payment that has been received. The advantage of using tables is that they expand automatically. As new clients or payments are entered, the tables grow without anyone having to copy formulas or change cell references. Everything updates automatically. The second decision was to use drop-down lists wherever possible instead of asking staff to type information manually. Destinations, consultants, booking status, insurance status, and customer type are all selected from predefined lists. These lists are stored on a separate worksheet and linked to the drop-down menus throughout the system. This provides three important benefits. First, it keeps data consistent because everyone uses exactly the same descriptions. Second, it greatly reduces typing mistakes and spelling errors. Third, because the data is consistent, the formulas, reports, and pivot tables can analyze the information accurately. In other words, the tables provide a reliable structure for storing the data, while the drop-down lists ensure the quality of that data. Once those two foundations are in place, the Excel functions can do the rest automatically. Now that we've built a reliable structure for entering data, let's look at how the spreadsheets automatically process that information, using functions such as XLOOKUP, COUNTIFS, and if. The first major function I'd like to show you is SUMIFS. Every payment received from a client is entered into the payments worksheet. We don't type totals into the client's worksheet because that would mean maintaining the same information in two places. Instead, each payment is simply recorded against the client's unique client ID. The SUMIFS function then searches the payments table, finds every payment belonging to that client, adds them together, and automatically displays the total in the total paid column. This means there is only one place where payments are entered. As soon as a new payment is recorded, the client's total updates automatically. Nobody needs to recalculate figures or update balances manually. The formula is actually very straightforward. It tells Excel, put this client ID into your memory, to the payments table in the payments worksheet, and go down the column Client ID. Every time you find that client ID, grab the corresponding value in the amounts field. Then add together all the payment amounts and return that figure to cell P1 in the client table. Then do the same for the next client ID and then the next one. Because we're using Excel tables, this formula is automatically copied to every new client we add in the future. We never have to recreate it. This single function becomes the foundation for several other calculations. Once we know how much each client has paid, Excel can immediately calculate the outstanding balance, determine whether a deposit has been received, and identify which customers are ready to travel. The next function I'd like to show you is COUNTIFS. While SUMIFS tells us how much a client has paid, COUNTIFS tells us how many payments they have made. Every payment entered into the payments worksheet is linked to a client ID. The COUNTIFS function simply counts how many times that client ID appears in the payments table. So if a client has paid a deposit followed by 2 balance payments, COUNTIFS returns 3. If they've only paid a deposit, it returns 1. If no payments have been received yet, it returns 0. Again, the data only needs to be entered once. Every time a new payment is added to the payments worksheet, the payment count updates automatically. There are no manual calculations and nothing else to maintain. The formula is also very simple. It tells Excel, count every record in the payments table where the client ID matches the client ID for this customer. The next function I'd like to show you is the if function. Up to this point, we've calculated 2 important pieces of information automatically. We know how much each client has paid using SUMIFS, and we know how many payments they have made using COUNTIFS. The if function now takes that information and makes a business decision. Rather than expecting staff to study the figures and decide what they mean, Excel does the thinking for us. It checks each client's payment information and automatically assigns 1 of 4 payment statuses: no payment, deposit required, part paid, or paid in full. In simple terms, the IF function asks a series of questions. Has the client made any payments? If not, the status becomes no payment. If they have made a payment, have they paid the full holiday cost? If they have, the status changes to paid in full. If not, Excel checks whether the minimum deposit has been received. If it has, the status becomes part paid. If it hasn't, the status is deposit required. Because these checks happen automatically, staff never need to calculate payment status themselves. As soon as another payment is entered into the payments worksheet, the if function immediately reassesses the situation and updates the status if necessary. This is one of the real strengths of Excel. Rather than simply storing information, it can apply your business rules consistently to every client, every time. Instead of staff asking, "What is this client's payment status?" the spreadsheet already knows the answer.
Whether you're looking to improve your own Excel skills or train an entire team, we've built a practical course for real-world Excel users. Our 6-level online program takes learners from beginner to advanced and now includes using Excel with AI, ensuring every skill level is covered. For businesses and universities, we support groups from 3 users to over 1,000. Managers can track progress, monitor results, and see team performance in real time. Course levels include online exams, and learners who achieve 75% receive an automatically generated CPD-certified Excel certificate. Individual and corporate group licenses available. Learn Excel. Work faster.